Innovaccer, a healthtech unicorn worth $3.5 billion, just laid off 340 people for the third time in 4 years, and they're calling it an AI pivot. But the numbers tell a very different story.
Okay, so third time in 4 years. That's a lot. I mean, companies restructure, right? But 3 times suggests something's actually broken here.
Exactly. And that's the thing that's getting buried in coverage. Most outlets are running with the headline that Innovaccer's going AI native, which sounds forward-thinking and visionary. But if you step back, you're looking at a company that keeps hitting walls and keeps needing to cut people to adjust course.
So is the AI thing real, or is it just cover for cost cutting?
That's exactly the question that's not being asked. The CEO sent an internal email that leaked online, which is already a bad sign about their communication strategy, and he framed everyone being cut as people who shipped products and closed deals. It's sympathetic language, but it's also doing a lot of work to make serial contraction sound like strategic transformation.
Right, so there's no actual data showing that AI automation has replaced these functions?
Nothing public. We have an internal email and a valuation figure from however long ago. But if AI genuinely automated these roles, you'd expect to see productivity metrics, you'd see proof of concept. Instead, the narrative is just, we're pivoting to AI-native operations, and everyone moves on.
And Innovaccer is in healthtech, which feels like maybe one of the riskier places to be aggressively cutting people, right?
Hugely risky. These aren't just jobs. The people getting cut: data analysts, implementation specialists, clinical integration staff. They hold institutional knowledge that AI can't just inherit on day one. They know how hospital systems structure their electronic health records, why certain fields don't map across payer datasets, how to catch compliance problems before they become regulatory disasters.
So we're talking about people who understand the actual messy reality of how healthcare data works in the real world.
Yes. And Innovaccer's platform sits right in the middle of clinical data aggregation, population health management, care coordination. Their software directly affects how doctors make decisions about patient care. When you cut 340 people from that kind of system, the risk isn't just a bad metric on a dashboard, it's incorrect risk stratification, missed care gaps, corrupted patient histories that providers act on.
Which means patients could be harmed.
Potentially, yes. And you layer on top of that the regulatory dimension. HIPAA, state-level privacy laws, enterprise client expectations. Healthtech is one of the most heavily regulated spaces in software. Errors don't stay internal.
So why would a company that should know better do this? Like, are they really that confident in their AI, or are they just desperate to cut costs?
That's the pattern question. 1 restructuring can be strategic realignment. 3 restructurings in 4 years at a company with a $3.45 billion valuation? That suggests the company has repeatedly failed to stabilize its scale despite having capital. The AI narrative is just the most convenient cover story this time around.
And the valuation is interesting because that number doesn't necessarily reflect current health, right?
Correct. That's what investors paid at some point. It doesn't tell you anything about whether the business is actually operating efficiently or whether AI automation is delivering the results they're claiming.
So for people listening who work in healthtech or at startups generally, what should they be watching for here?
Watch whether Innovaccer actually publishes data about productivity gains or whether the AI narrative stays vague. Watch if there's a 4th round of cuts. And honestly, watch how their clients' hospital systems, payers react over the next 6 months. If patient care actually improves because of this restructuring, maybe they knew something. If things get buggier or slower, then you know the real story.
Yeah, the outcome will tell you whether this was real strategy or just damage control.
Exactly. And if you want the full context on this, including the details on how the announcement leaked and what that tells us about internal communication, head over to newslet.com and read the full article. There's a lot more nuance there.